Hello, everyone, and welcome into more Ticket to Ride here on the Sorcerer Network. My name is Sorcerer Matt. All aboard, I guess. I don't know. Let's not get too cheesy here, but let's get this thing started here. All right, Portland to Pittsburgh, Chicago to Boston seems pretty straightforward. Now the question is, what is our third ticket? I don't like Houston to Washington and Omaha to. It's probably just Vancouver to Santa Fe. It's not great, but it's also not awful. Really, the excuse me, the big thing is this corner up here, which we will immediately play. I love that we're going second. That mitigates the risk of that route. I would love to go Seattle, Helena to Duluth at the very least, which is maybe a reason why I shouldn't have used my yellow, but no matter. And then kind of go Duluth to Chicago to Pittsburgh to New York to Boston, and then maybe even out of Helena go down to Denver and then Santa Fe. So outside of this corner up here, and I don't care if no one else plays up here, I'm 100% gonna do this. Probably outside of this northeast section, Santa Fe to Denver is often a very popular route. So yellow, orange, black, green, white, like there's a lot of stuff that we need. So I think I'm okay just grabbing off the top. I know that I see the orange and the yellow here. However, going off the top gives me I'm so happy when the game proves my point. I get a wild here, which is really nice. I like that a lot. And because I'm looking for a pair to Denver to Santa Fe, that's really nice. But I also don't feel like I need to go bonkers to get this, because we just get a pair. We get a pair now, and if we didn't get this, our game is not ruined. Now, with that said, I would very much like this. And then it's probably getting this Chicago to Pittsburgh to New York to Boston route kind of done and solidified. So I'm happy to do this. I'm happy to do that. Blue is not something that we need, so it's not like we're wasting something. Excuse me. But yeah, this is a situation where we need so many colors. I mean, I guess red would be well, maybe not. Red would be the most critical, but I still think I feel good about just going off the top here. Maybe that's incorrect, but I also feel like there's so much stuff that we need. If we were looking only for a certain color or certain one or two colors, I could see it, but chances are we get those colors off the top, and then we have a chance for other stuff as well as wilds that will really help us down the road here. I would really rather go Pittsburgh to New York with white instead of... Okay, great. That's fine. I don't really need blue, because the one downside of this... Okay, all right. Not a problem. Not a problem. So I think this just means now that I do want to go... Okay, so that tells me that's a Seattle to Vegas. Probably. So I do think that grabbing... Okay, this is correct. Now, the issue is the rest of this is about to get a whole lot more complicated. I guess we do have... Okay. No worries. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to We're going to go like this. We're going to go Vancouver to Calgary, and then work our way down Helena, Denver. And then we can hook up then, instead of going up in the north, because it seems like blue and red are going to kind of compete there. So I'm okay doing this. And then I really don't want to have to use the black here to go Calgary to Helena. But I guess I could use orange as well. But I guess if I can get this, I want to. Like, if I can get Helena to Duluth, I kind of want to do that. Or is that just, I don't know if that really matters. I like it for the points, I guess, is the big thing that I like. But do I just also like grabbing the orange here? I mean, I'm going to go off the top. Because I could also go... Okay, let's think about this. So if I go here, I'm still going to need the Calgary to Duluth, and I still need this green. But that means I can just hook up... Okay, that's better, because then instead of having to hook things up... Yes. So I definitely want to try to get this route here. I think that what I would like to do is go ahead and grab 4 black here. And then probably just go Helena to Duluth. And then work on this whole northeast section here. Obviously, the northeast can get hairy very quickly. But I think we don't need to panic about it. I'm pretty happy with how we navigated that one. I think that we really stuck to our original plan. I'm going to go ahead and pair the board with the yellow and grab probably a Boston to New York. Yeah, and of course things get hairy right away. No worries. So we're going to grab New York to Boston next turn. Excuse me. So now... So we're going to grab this. But now I'm wondering if we actually draw some tickets here. Because it's looking like connecting up our routes south is going to be more of a thing. We're going to go kind of back on that. So yeah, Denver to St. Louis, heck yeah. Vancouver to Denver, oh yeah. Like both of those, excellent. So now we can kind of come right through the middle here and connect things up. We don't have to worry about this Helena to Denver. We're back to the middle being where we want to go, because we obviously want to get Chicago hooked up. So I would love it if these 2 green stayed, because I really want Chicago to St. Louis. That's kind of a key part to all of this. Feel like I'm playing behind the 8 ball this entire game. We could also go Chicago to Omaha, but I guess we need St. Louis as well. All right, well, off the top is where we need to go. And hope for the best, I guess. All right, looks like he's going the black route here. Yeah, I'm worried that yellow is gonna grab this, and my options in Chicago are fast dwindling. And of course, I'm hitting all the sides of the double routes that I don't need. Okay, that might be good for us. Glad we at least got into Pittsburgh. Okay, that's fine. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm kind of liking. Well, no, I still need the Chicago to St. Louis, which I'm probably gonna just grab with a white and a wild right now. And of course, as I say that, someone's gonna grab it immediately. It looks like white's not going that way though. Okay, so yes to this. Now, I'm debating just going Chicago to Omaha and Omaha to Denver. Yeah, I think that's probably the plan. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Still think this is okay. I mean, I do have to get, I think, enough green to get St. Louis to Pittsburgh here, because we have to connect that up. I mean, unless we really want to go nutso and go St. Louis to Nashville to Raleigh to Pittsburgh, which I suppose technically is an option, but not my best one. Another traffic jam game where just everybody is kind of in the same spot that we need to be. And I don't love that everyone's keeping 20 different destinations. That's not fun. Not fun for us. I like the Wild. I like the Wild because probably St. Louis to Pittsburgh is my biggest thing. Okay, interesting. I'm assuming yellow drew something that they're going to try to go San Francisco to Portland here. All right, I don't really need any red. I don't mind the wilds, though. Okay. Don't really need the blue either. I mean, I probably should just grab a wild and go St. Louis to Pittsburgh, but that seems like what I don't want to do. Yeah, see, I don't love that I'm now struggling. I've been on the back foot this whole game, where I'm reacting to everything, and so while my opponents are drawn, this is, if you're watching this video in order, this is the same thing that kind of happened yesterday, where I'll probably complete all these tickets, but I'm the one that's left scrambling while my opponents are drawing tickets and all that jazz. So now we're not completely out of the woods here, or completely screwed, especially with that pair, because we could very easily go St. Louis to Kansas City, and we'd then have two wild, maybe get some orange and green. But I probably want to save, because I have no orange, so I probably want to I have the blue here, so I probably want to try to just go this Chicago to Omaha, Omaha to Denver. If I had some, I mean, if I all of a sudden start drawing a bunch of orange, sure, but I don't think that that's going to be my first thing. Green is really the thing that I would love to see. Okay, I like a little bit of a reset there. Of course, now we see all the orange. But I'm happy to grab a pink here. Got all the blue in the world that we need. What country is this? Reunion. I will claim ignorance in that I have absolutely no idea what that country is. All right, loving the green there, and I'm loving the wild there. All right, fantastic. Here we go. So now we're going to get this stuff done. And you know what? I don't hate the points here. And we do have Portland to Pittsburgh and Vancouver to Denver. Like, it's not like we have just bad tickets. So I'm not completely in the we're sunk here. I think this was a non-optimal situation, but we're navigating. I love that everybody's drawing. And we're going to go ahead and play. And we're going to have a decent amount of cards here to, because what, 4 will put us down to 6? We don't have a terrible longest train either. Not that I'm really going for that. And we're not super, it's not like we're super behind on tickets either. We're set up okay. We're in an okay spot. It's definitely going to depend on what we draw, but you could say that about any game. Okay. So Los Angeles is a big fat no. Winnipeg to Houston is a no. Duluth to El Paso is a yes. And Denver to El Paso is a yes. All right, that's a nice little draw there because we have the pair. And we can very easily... We're already in Duluth. And getting to El Paso is great. Really the only risk here is that someone grabs Santa Fe to El Paso. Seems rather unlikely because we have the El Paso tickets. But I'm pretty happy to grab that and complete it. So now my question is... where do I think I'm at in this game? I am tied for the lead with points on board. And the fact that people are still drawing says to me that we need to do this. And be like, this is the final turn. Either you have it or you don't. Yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer, but I was hoping that blue would have missed, but especially because that gave him 15 points, but I also think that doesn't give blue then a bunch of opportunities to it doesn't give them a bunch of opportunities to get what they need as well. Another bummer there, because, you know, I think I am going to draw here. Montreal to Chicago is a yes. And I think that is it. And honestly, this serves the purpose because now we guaranteed get a 15-point bonus. I love that. Okay, so red misses big. So red had San Francisco to Washington and really didn't prioritize that. Okay. So I do think that we navigated that pretty well. And we had some pretty good tickets. It wasn't like we had some very good ticket draws late. Oh, that would have been I'm happy we didn't have to go all the way up to Winnipeg. Yeah, Seattle to Vegas. Nice. Hey, and we're going to be the only one that gets the 15-point bonus. That is excellent. Yellow probably had the easiest game here once they were able to get... No one was really in that south half, and they had some very nice tickets. Ooh. Now, what's going to hurt them is, one, we still had them beat. And the second thing is we got the 15-point bonus. So I think we ended that game exactly when we needed to. Red gets longest train. Doesn't matter. So there we go. That traffic jam gets... that crisis averted. I mean, this was a game where we maneuvered this pretty well, but also we got some really nice ticket draws. I think the El Paso to Duluth, Denver to El Paso was probably the clutch ticket draw of the game. There's some luck there. But, given we really didn't have to reroute all that much... if we were looking at going through here, we just kind of had to go Pittsburgh to St. Louis, and that also got us some more points. We were, but very fortunate. Yeah, Yellow missing out on Toronto to Miami. I wonder if yellow was trying to get blue to go Atlanta to Miami. And then I don't know what red was trying to do, because punting on San Francisco to Washington is a bad idea. Don't ever do that. All right, let's look at some stats here. So interesting that the two people that had the least amount of points with claimed routes were 1 and 2, whereas the person that with the most claimed routes was last. However, the reason for that would be the minus 28 that they took. Second place had more completed destinations than I did. However, the minus 10 mattered. We took more hidden cards. Once again, for like the 5th game in a row, it seems like, I'm drawing the least amount of train cards. I don't know if that's actually indicative of success, but I feel like what it means is that we're not just wasting draws, that the draws that we're getting actually are going to completing routes. Maybe I'm just making this up, but that feels significant. Pretty much everyone had high average claimed route length. Obviously, this is a little bit of a different, half a train different, but none of this is wildly different, I think, in that it made a huge difference. Longest train there, and then, I mean, here's probably the stat of every game is the top 2 combined to keep 10 extra tickets, the bottom 2 combined to keep 5 extra tickets. So that matters. Hey, if you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and we'll see you next time.